Let's start this train wreck. It's going to be a fantastic show because Sean Capri's not here. That's why. Yes.
You want me to do all the Sean stuff, and I'll
No.
pretend to talk like you?
No. No. God, no. Please, dear baby Jesus, God, no. Okay. Here we go. All right.
Are you ready?
What I said! Are you ready?
Can't do it. We'll do it live.
You think that you're better?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Well, you
Do it
better
live.
get ready.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bow to the masters. Break it down.
If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 116 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest beard in all the land, Jason Lacy. What is up, sir?
What is up, Bobby?
I didn't like the shimmy. That needs to stop. Don't do that stuff, please. Please, dear God. You know, this is the weirdest thing. So we start off right. We're talking. We're having a conversation. No big deal.
Yeah.
We're doing our thing. Everything's going well. And then we do this. We do this weird thing where the intro starts and it's just awkward silence. Like we're not even we don't talk. We just sit there and I'm staring at the camera and I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is awkward. Like we were talking 2 seconds ago, and now we can't talk. And it's like this is strange. But anyway, so
I was listening to Phil Collins in my head. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. That's just in my head, looking at Bobby.
heaven help us. Heaven,
Do the drum solo.
heaven help us. I realized I started to utilize something that's really been seeming to help me with my streams a little bit. And that's I've been utilizing my second monitor more.
Yeah.
I used to pull your visual off of Skype. And for whatever reason, it's a drain on the system. For some reason. But I can run Skype and sit it over on my second monitor and then pull off of the second monitor, and it's not as much of a drag. And I don't understand why it does. It seems weird because it's pulling the same essential information.
Yeah.
But for whatever
Why is
reason,
it lagging
anything that
off
sits
the
on
one screen?
whatever sits on that second monitor is just does its own thing. I'm gonna buy a third monitor and put it over here on my right. I got the one monitor up over my head that I look like Michael Jordan. I'm gonna start playing video games like Michael Jordan, like my tongue hanging out. Like when Jordan used to dunk, he would have his tongue hanging out. That's what I'm gonna start doing when I stream.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I am the greatest of all time when it comes to gaming, so I might as well own it.
You gotta bring in the clicks, bring in the views. That's what's gonna do it.
That's gonna do it. If you have your tongue wagging like Michael Jordan, they're gonna be like, look at this guy. This guy is amazing right now.
You're onto something. I can feel it.
I think I am onto something. I potentially. We'll see. Probably not. I did play some Splatoon 2 last night.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's time for you to dust the controller off and
Dude,
come back at retirement.
it's been a long time since I played Splatoon 2.
It has been for me as well. And let me tell you what, Jason. So much fun, dude. It was such a blast to be playing with the community.
Yeah,
and
that was the best thing about it, man.
Yeah, man, it was so awesome. Were you window capturing when it's on your main display? No,
Let's face it,
Rybo, I was pulling off of...
Rybo's going to have the answer in
I know. In 2 seconds.
minutes.
I was pulling it off of Skype, Rybo, is what I was doing. So in my scenes, I was setting up a Skype thing. This is technical stuff that nobody gives a damn about. We can have this...
It's eating away, Rybo.
It kills him. But listen, little Rybo's behind me. Everything's okay. The love of my life is up there on the shelf behind me. Everything's okay. That kiss was epic.
Bobby, we need to address because the listeners at home that aren't here with us, they're gonna know. Well, where's Sean? Where's Sean? Why isn't Sean here? Why is it just Jason and Bobby? Where's Sean? I came here for Sean. Where's Sean?
We fired Sean because he's an Xbox guy. That's why. It essentially turned out to where he's actually in Canada, which he's always in Canada. He's in Toronto. he's in Toronto this weekend. So how this works out is Marissa Roberto is getting married this weekend in Toronto. And Chelsea is actually there to shoot it, like with the camera. She's the photographer for the wedding. So Sean is out there, and since he went out there, he hooked up with Brock McLaughlin, and apparently there's this event up there in Canardia land, tonight or this weekend. He's actually going to be streaming on the Xbox channel tomorrow, with Xbox Canada, which is pretty amazing, honestly. Like. But I didn't like the fact that, like, tonight he's over there and he's playing Splatoon. He's playing Smash and he was trash talking it, man. Like, no, that don't work like that. I played Smash.
You don't desecrate Jason Lacy's game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, just because you suck, Sean, doesn't mean the game's a bad game. Like, I'm sorry, man.
I mean, it's boring too if you get 3-stocked all the time. I mean, that's
no
fun.
I mean, if you get knocked out like that, like, come on, dude. Like, I went to E3. And I played, and I represented the Nintendo Guru, and I won both my matches. And then when it was done, I looked at the 3 people that I just beat, and I said, just so you guys know, I really suck at this game. So you guys must really suck. Thank you for the ass whipping I just laid down.
And then that 6-year-old was like, "Mommy, what does suck mean?"
She's like, "Yeah, we could." We don't talk about you.
Man, so between like Nintendo of Canada and Xbox Canada, man, they just let anybody in Canada play games and represent stuff. Huh? I mean,
essentially,
yes, the bar is pretty
low
down there.
Pretty low. I mean, Justin Masson is, and then when Justin moved from Canada to Europe, like him and Gary Gray are getting everything. And listen. Yeah. It's only because they're, like, so far down the totem pole. Like, nobody cares. Like, you got 5 streamers in Europe. That's why. Like, come on. The real country is the United States. Just ask Donald Trump. And that's just what it boils down to. People are going to hate us by the end of this show.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know what's happening right now. This is just... It's way off on the rail. I'm off the rails right now. Yeah, they don't let Rybo do nothing. Rybo, that's because Rybo hides himself in a little cubby hole. Like, one day me and Jams are like, "Hey Rybo, we're gonna have a conversation." So me and Jams are on video, and he's just audio, and we're like, "Dude,
he's a man of mystery.
Turn your camera on." He's like, "No, I'm not turning my camera on." I'm like, is it Sloth from the Goonies? That's what I'm thinking.
He's Justin Trudeau.
That, you know what?
He's the Prime Minister of Canada.
Son of a bitch. It is. You are, aren't you, Rybo? You're Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid. That's what it boils down to. And he's trying to hide his true identity.
He's got to be anonymous. Yeah.
So Justin Trudeau, I'm going to tell everybody that he fixed my stream a year ago and got me streaming very well. So, I don't know. Anyway, this is a train wreck. Jason, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Geek outs!
No, we don't do that here. That's with me and Toby. That's me and Toby's special moment.
Wrong show.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
bad.
So what do you got any shout-outs?
I do. Bobby, I'm trying to be a halfways mediocre streamer in my somewhat very unavailable free time. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple people that always come out and hang out. One of those is here tonight, Mr. Rival Flavins.
Yes.
And as always, Rival always should get a shout out, I think, for every week. Because I think he does something for somebody every week. Mm-hmm. So always deserving that. But I also got to give it out to another member of my community, Mr. Tom Servo. He always comes out and chills with me.
Very nice.
He's a good guy. Supports the stuff me and Lucas do over at Flux to Pose. So always happy to see those guys hang out in the stream. It's make me feel all warm and fuzzy
awesome.
when I'm getting mad at video games.
That's always pretty spectacular. Myself, so I have a couple that I want to work through here real quick. The first one is I want to give a shout out to Joseph Moran, Joe Afterwork, and Jams, as well as Nick Militia of Next Level Games. Last Saturday, the four of us streamed for 3+ hours. Did a special episode of Nintendo Talk live in the store. It was unbelievable. Like nothing I had ever done before. It was so much fun. It actually was like incredibly humbling. The amount of people, number one, that came out and stayed the entire day with us. Like, not the entire day. Let's get realistic. The 3 hours that we actually were on air, it was a 3+ hours that we were on air. Like, they were there the entire time. And I was just like, this is insanity. That people actually were there at the beginning, and when we were shutting down, we're like, okay, guys, have a great night. And I was like, this is nuts right now.
What was it like for you to, doing it the first time you start doing stuff live online? It's a little, it's a little big deal. What was it like having an audience?
That was weird.
Doing something.
That was super weird. So we were there, and occasionally, like, I would look up because the way it was like I'm looking at the host or at the co-host or whoever my guest is, and they're like this way to me, right?
Yeah.
And then
the couch set up.
To the left was where the people were standing. So I was essentially, I had my back to, or my side to everybody. I really couldn't see. But occasionally I would look to the camera, which was in between the two of us, obviously. And that's when, like, out of my peripheral vision, I would pick up everybody else. And I was like, a couple of times I was like, holy shit, like, what is happening right now? This is crazy. There was times I'd look up and there'd be like 4 people standing there, 5 people standing there, and I was just like, wow. I'm like, yeah, no, we can't do this. And I would turn back and stare at the person. There was a time, right? I was gonna tell this story in a Free Flow Friday, but I'll tell it now. Speaking of stories of Free Flow Friday, did you watch today?
I haven't got a chance to watch today. I saw the headline though.
Oh, it's a train wreck. My mom texted me and she's like, I can't believe you told that story. I was like, yeah. She's like, I was laughing hysterically. She goes, I cannot believe you told that. So anyway, my grandfather, who I reference in the same grandfather whose house I lit on fire, he was fire chief of the town we lived in for 75 years. So, dude was like somebody in the township.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I tell my mom, I want to read a eulogy. Like, he meant something to me. I want to read a eulogy. I've never read a eulogy in my life. Never written one at that point. I want to say I was 25 years old, maybe 26, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So I go and I write this nice thing about my grandfather, and the funeral's at this big Catholic church, and I go and I get in front of everybody, and I start to read, and I remember when I was in high school that the teachers used to always say, like, look up and address the audience. Just don't stare down as you're reading. Yeah. So I'm reading, and that hits me, and I'm like, look up. And I look up, and dude, there had to be all 500 people there. And I was like, oh shit. And I put my head back down, I was like, don't do that again. Don't do that again. Because, like, the nerves just, whoom, they just hit me and took over. So it was the same thing that happened that day. Like, I would sit there and I'm talking to Joseph, and I look over, I'm like, holy crap, dude, there's people standing there. Like, what is going on here? Like, this is weird. Like, it takes a little getting used to. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little awkward. But, to say the least, it was so awesome to, like, really, truly be able to have that. And Nick agreed to have us back again.
Awesome.
So we're all going to come back again and do it again. I'm just super hyped that this is potentially something we're going to do. Because afterwards, we all go to dinner, and we start to talk, shop, and
the whole Guru and Northeast crew.
yeah, and that's basically what we we just started talking, and we were like, hey, man, let's keep doing these. Let's get comfortable doing these, and then we'll apply to PAX East and see if we can get a panel. And then maybe it starts to turn into something. But that's the steps. Like, my feeling was, we need to do these so we get comfortable, so then we can translate into, now you get in front of a panel, in front of people, and you just don't give a damn.
Are you gonna have Joe stripping at each panel? That's the question.
Well, that got me $50. So yeah.
Oh,
that's,
okay.
I mean,
all right. Fair enough.
Like,
yeah.
straight up,
right.
I got $50 for him taking his shirt off. So, like, he's gonna do that every single week. If that,
man, like, if you're on Twitch, you got bits flying out here. You're at Next Level Games. You got ones and fives and tens flying everywhere.
It was nice.
Man.
It was nice, man. It was lovely. It was very cool. Ted, how you doing tonight, buddy? So another shout out I wanted to give was to the amazing community that we've built very quickly. So everybody knows that when I came back, I left, Make Us Better, and kind of decided to venture off on my own a little bit. And in doing so, like, I basically stepped quasi away from a Discord group and a community that I built from the ground up. And I mean, essentially that was the original Nintendo Guru Discord group. And then we just turned it into the Make Us Better Discord group, and we moved forward. And so me leaving and starting over was just a little nerve-wracking, because it's like, man, you cultivated this, but it evolved into something that just wasn't me. It was other entities coming into it, and it was just like, this isn't, it's I started it, I cultivated a good portion of it, but it's evolved into something totally different. So when I went over to my own thing, it was pretty awesome that, like, again, like, if I just say, like, hey guys, can you go check this out? They go check it out. If I'm like, hey, can you do this? They just go do it. And it's like, that's what I had created in the early goings of Make Us Better. Where, like, it was like a rabid group that was just like, we're going to support you. We're going to back you, whatever you need. Just tonight, a friend of mine, Jeffrey Mahoney, who I've known since the kid was 15 years old. I met him playing Animal Crossing years ago. Animal Crossing City Folk is where I met him at. And he legitimately, like, has become a friend of mine that we've just stayed connected, like, all the time. Like, during his, like, we're friends on Facebook, so, like, during his time, like, we'd constantly, like, talk occasionally, like, his prom, his graduation. He went off into the military for a very short period of time, and I've watched him starting to begin doing Twitch. And I followed him right away. And then today, he's trying to build to get to 50 followers. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I can do. And I drop a link on Facebook. I go to Twitter, drop a link. I go into the Discord, drop a link. And then boom, boom, boom. And here it comes. Now here comes the deluge. Everybody's just, like, following him now. And it's awesome to see. Like, I really want this kid to be able to experience what we experienced. I said to him, I was like, listen, come in, get involved in our Discord, come hang out, talk to people, and when you're streaming, just drop a link in there, and people will come and hang out and talk to you and stuff. And sure enough, like, Ribble was there, and I was there, and Tammy popped in, and Jams popped in. It was like, this is awesome, man. This is so cool to see the community that I loved kind of is still there. They're still there, and they're still doing their thing, and it's, like, just amazing to see this happen. So I'm very ecstatic to see that these people are just sticking with us and continuing to do what they're doing, and it feels really awesome to know that we have built this community into what it is. So, and I say we because I feel like you're a very strong part of that as well. You're always, like, you're one of my moderators, you and Ribble. just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with technology. So I leave it to you guys. But like from day one, like you were like one of the first people to like join that day that the Guru Direct dropped.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, boom, you were in there like, yo,
what-
what's going
what's
on?
that code? Let's go.
And I
Do
didn't
it.
tell nobody. That's the funny thing. Like the only people that were in there was me, Pat, and oh my god, TJ Santulo, because TJ did the actual animation for the Discord part.
Well,
so he
that was
joined.
fun though when we were the first ones in there though, because you could wait to see who figured it out. It was kind of like a game to see who's going to join up next.
That was amazing, dude. That was the most surreal moment of anything I've ever done. Like, I'm like, are people watching this direct? Like, I don't know.
Nobody likes me.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You put the video out there, right? And you're like, I don't think nobody's watching this. There was a moment just before it went live. I literally couldn't breathe. I was just like, nobody's gonna watch this. I wasted my time. Nobody gives a damn. This is stupid. I pumped this up in my head and it's not there. And all of a sudden I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, so I turn it on when it goes live and I put it silently on my other monitor, and I'm working and I occasionally looking over and stuff, and it hits the part where TJ comes with Dark TJ and does the Discord, and the minute it flips and shows, and then he says like down in the links below, it was like bing bing, my cell phone just starts exploding, and I'm like, oh my god, people are watching this thing. This is crazy. I think we went from like 0 to 50 in like an hour, and I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Do you have any other shout outs, or are you?
My last one I have to give is got to be. I'm sure I've shouted about before, but I got to give it props to N64 Josh again, because I got that nice discount on this beautiful OP seat thanks to him.
Nice.
And I'm loving it. Oh my god, it's so much better than my old chair. I feel like I'm living in luxury here, Bobby.
I'm gonna buy another one of these, because this one got a little jacked up when I. How much did you pay for your chair?
It's on sale right now. They're having like a Memorial Day sale where it's like $25 off, but they almost always go on for $50 off. So this is the Grandmaster, which is the more expensive. It was like $229 for this chair. So I had some birthday money I hoarded and saved, and I was like, yep, it's time for a new chair.
Dude, what is up? I'm definitely in the market for a new one, but I kind of want to get this one again because it's red and black. It kind of matches my beautiful mic.
Yep.
And my other headset.
You got a theme going there.
I kind of got a thing going on.
I get that.
You know, and then when I finally get this lit up behind me,
it'll
be red.
Yeah, right.
Well, it'll be whatever color I want to make it. It'll be, if I just click a button, it'll turn red. If I'm on Twitch and I hit purple, it'll turn purple. It'll be pretty spectacular. Anyway, so yeah, N64 Josh is amazing. I'm going to I think next week I'm going to have him on Nintendo Talk Live.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna spend a little time together chatting about this thing called Nintendo that I kind of like.
I've heard of that thing.
Yeah, I kind of like it a little bit. Just a bit,
right.
just a bit. So
Sean's not here, so someone's got to be a little bit down on it.
Well, yeah. Don't get me started. No, I love Sean. Everybody knows I love Sean. I just like to give him a little shot.
If you're not here, it happens. It happens to me all the
time.
time.
The thing of it is if I don't give Sean a little shot, like he gets, a little too comfortable. So I give him the little nudges, so that way he gets a little nervous, like, oh my god, Bobby's mad at me. What's going on? And then it kind of, course, corrects itself and everything's good.
Yeah.
We're not doing that stupid Fluxtapose nonsense. But what are you playing right now? What are you playing right now?
Hey, watch it.
Watch it. What are you playing, man?
I'm playing Octopath. I'm back in that.
Okay.
Working my way through. I just finished the chapter 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like maybe halfway. I don't know. That's my lunch break game.
Okay.
And then I'm at home. I was playing Hollow Knight, but then The Messenger came out.
Wow.
And I was like, after I saw the scores for that, I was like, okay, I got to juggle some cards around. Let me find a way, because I scrutinize. I don't like to buy stuff too often. And I was like, I got to get this game. I really wanted Dead Cells, but then this came out and it's cheaper. And I was like, All right.
Wait. You don't have Dead Cells?
I don't have Dead Cells.
Holy crap, Jason. Come on, man. Come on.
Here's the thing. I was saving money to get Diablo, but now there's the rumors about the date change. If it's not coming until December, there's no point in me buying Diablo because Smash is going to be out in December.
Oh, they're pushing it back?
It's rumored that it's the December 21st is the release date.
Who's rumoring this?
I just.
It's not Marcus Sellers, is it?
No, it wasn't Sellers. I've seen it on some. I've seen it on the Discords.
Okay.
I've seen the rumors on the internets.
Is it Donnie?
Donnie may have started it.
Yeah, Donnie's a jackass. Don't listen to nothing Donnie says. Donnie just likes to make stuff up, man.
So yeah, I'll get that too. But man, The Messenger, so good. I played it for about an hour and a half last night. Stayed up too late.
It is amazing.
And, it's a good time. I like it.
I don't know about you, but me, I am a huge Ninja Gaiden fan back from the NES. That was my jam. Like, I loved Ninja Gaiden. Used to call it Ninja Gaiden.
Gaiden. Yep.
KMK, what is up? How you doing tonight? That was my jam back then. Like, I loved that whole thing.
We had that, and at the local community college that my babysitter's right next door from, they had the arcade version of it. Oh God, you thought the console version was hard enough.
Oh, the arcade was tough. It was real tough. But so I fell in love with it. Didn't actually play the original one.
Okay.
Right away, like didn't turn like I was just like, I don't want to play that game. The sequel hit, and something was just like, I gotta have this game. So I went and bought it. Fell in love with it. Went back and bought the original. Never beat them. Never beat either of them.
Oh no.
I do want to go back and try to beat them because they are so hard though. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
3 is really good as well. And then I never even touched anything on the. I never even touched anything over on the when it hit like PlayStation, Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox.
Stuff.
Yeah. Those are cool, but I mean it's a lot different at that point.
Yeah, it just wasn't the thing. KMK 182. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, for me it's just like whatever, no big deal. But this game, The Messenger, oh my god, dude, so it's cool. Good, dude. It's like playing. I feel like I'm back playing the original Ninja Gaiden all over again. It's like this is insanity how good it is. What else? Anything else you're playing, or is that it?
No, that's it right now. I'm just gonna go through those, and oddly enough, I think once I get caught up on these, I might play a little. Go back to Odyssey of all games. I got this itch. Just go back to Mario Odyssey. I don't know why. I don't know. I dropped that game hot after I finished it, but I never did any of the extra content, and part of me just kind of feels like maybe I need to give it a look. But I'll probably buy Dead Cells and just play that instead.
You just like bad games. That's all it is.
I'm not James Johnson. Come on now. Come on.
No.
This isn't Patrick. I may be one half of the Tank Bros, but I mean,
Odyssey is okay. It's not a great. Look. It's a good game. It's not a great game in my opinion. I know a lot of people get mad at me for saying that, but like I feel like it was some nostalgia stuff that got people overhyped, and it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been as hyped as it was. Never should have been even considered to be Game of the Year. Never should have been in the talks of Game of the Year. I think people just let the hype run away with them.
So I'm going to say you probably don't agree with Justin Masson on
Absolutely not.
Game.
Justin Masson is a moron. 11 out of 10. Come on. He knows. I love you, Justin. He knows that I'm just breaking stones. But like I also have had these conversations with him. Like, dude, it's not an 11 out of 10. Like, stop it. Like, this is madness. Zelda, I might give Zelda 11 out of 10, but not Odyssey. Myself, played a little Splatoon 2 last night. Played with the community. So much fun, dude. So much fun. That's the one thing. Splatoon 2 is the...
That was the best part about Splatoon 2, in my opinion, honestly.
Dude, because you were there. You were involved in all the streams early on. That community, again, was just crazy rabid. Last night, we had the Bobby Lobby going full force. We got up to 7 people in the lobby that were actually in the stream at the same time. So cool. Rybo,
Nice.
if Rybo would have just picked up a controller and played with us, we'd have had the full lobby. Would have been us. But he just turned his back on us. You know, he just like, screw you guys.
He was there. He probably had your stream stats pulled up somewhere, and
That's the problem. He was too
monitoring,
he was too busy over with Joe after work doing whatever,
Ooh.
and he just he turned his back on us, and it's very hurtful. It's I'm a little disgruntled about it, to be honest with you. He said he retired, and I was like, whatever, dude. Like, Rybo was retired.
Rival's retired.
Well, Ribble's not retired, so Ribble needs to step it up and join us next time. So I played some of that on Co-op Kings. We played some Mario Kart, which was so much fun. Again, community jumped in, played with us, and then we ended on some Fortnite, and we were playing with Dude and Mr. Babbitt himself.
No random 14-year-olds. This
No. That was one and done on that one. I learned my lesson with that. No random kids with that one. Also played some Messenger, obviously. Dead Cells, playing the hell out of that game. I love that game. I bought a new game.
Ooh.
I bought a game called Video. That's right. It wasn't Dude. It was Purple. My bad. It was Purple Monkey that was playing with us. It's called Video Kid.
Okay.
Absolute knockoff of Paperboy. Except for rather than newspapers, you're throwing VHS tapes. Right?
So you get it on the copyright. Right?
And you look like you're Marty McFly on a skateboard. Right? And you're like jumping over cars and doing all this stuff.
I gotta
but it's an absolute ripoff of Paperboy. To the T.
I don't
only
go back to that.
It was $4.99 or something like that on the Switch. I bought it today. Didn't even pay a dime for it because I used all gold coins and got it for free. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's it. That's all I've been playing. So
Hey, that's a good list, though. You got some good hits.
I got some decent stuff going on. I got some decent stuff on there. So here we go, JC. You ready?
I'm ready, man.
It's time for some topics after, 28 minutes or something. I'm going to push it. One day I want to get it to 45 minutes. Actually, I would like it one day to get it to 55 minutes and just go, we don't have time for topics today.
You just say...
And just shut it down.
Forget you, Todd Oxford.
Yeah. Because he'd be losing his mind. Do you remember years... now I'm just doing this on purpose. But do you remember years ago when Jimmy Kimmel was dating Sarah Silverman?
Yeah.
And they would do this skit on at the end of every show where he was like, "Oh, Matt Damon was supposed to be on tonight, but we ran out of time." That's what I want to do.
That feud with Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's what I want to do with Todd. I want to just run it one day. We're gonna have topics today. We just ran out of time today. And,
Bobby, I kind of wish you could get your gold coins back for this game. I'm watching a video.
Well, it was free. That's why I got it.
Yeah,
that's why I got
it.
It's fine.
All right.
It's okay. I bought Monster Hunter as well, but I haven't got a chance to play it.
Oh, man.
So I definitely want to get into it. This weekend is going to be the weekend of just relaxation and playing games.
He's going to go to the Joe After Work boot camp, and he's going to teach you how to play Monster Hunter.
15-year-old Bobby is coming out this weekend where I'm not doing a damn thing. I got one podcast. I got 2 podcasts on Sunday, and that is it. And then Monday morning, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to do a Nintendo Guru Daily at 5, and I'm done. There ain't going to be no news, so it might just be a stupid video of me talking about something nonsensical about lighting my grandfather's house on fire or something like that.
Right. Exactly.
So something to make my mom proud. That's what I want to do. Something that makes her text me and go, "What the hell are you thinking right now? What is wrong with you?"
She used her full name too. Robert, what did you do?
Yeah, she's like, "Robert Steven." I'm like, "Don't ever stop it." You got me on tangents. So she put a thing. She tagged me and my brother on this thing on Facebook the other day and was like, "If it wasn't for the middle name, you would never know that you were in trouble." And then she, like, it was something along those lines. And I was like, "Mom, so Tony," that's my brother's name, Tony. his middle name is You Little MFer, and she's like just like shocked, and he likes it. Like he liked the comment and stuff. It is so funny. Okay, all right, serious now.
Okay.
So if we ran Nintendo, what would we do to help out more indie developers moving forward and give them more of a spotlight? So this topic came up this week. Essentially, I did a video on it. It turned into this crazy discussion with Jules. Because what happened was I sent Jules the article originally that Nintendo Life did based upon this. And then he took it and retweeted it. And then, boom, here comes the hurricane where people just start attacking. I kind of caught a little bit of heat in my comment section. Not too much. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But essentially, that's where that's where this stems from, obviously. Let's start with it.
When I saw that headline, I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I'm interested to see. Because I had a feeling that Jules would have some commentary on it, because I've seen that presence for him on social media before and on the situations he's run into. So I was expecting. I
have. So here's the thing, and I didn't talk about this in the video because this wasn't based around Jules, so I wasn't trying to like stir up things with Jules. But I'll be honest with you, I watched the Nindies Direct this week, and it kind of pissed me off, man. There's a moment, and if you watch my reactions, I'm even kind of talking about it, but I didn't really like get venomous with it. I just kind of was like, no, I'll wait for Chicken Wiggle Workshop. There's a game coming out that's a level creator, and they're promoting the hell out of it. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, dude, when Jules put this thing out on the 3DS, you guys didn't even give it a storefront up front. Like, it was the only game on the 3DS, and it wasn't even on the main page. You had to go search for Chicken Wiggle in order to find it. Then the second week, it was the same thing. Third week, it finally hits the new release windows. It's 15 down from the front. So you had to so when you opened it up and you went to new releases, it wasn't there. You had to scroll down to go find it. And then the fourth week, it was the same thing. It wasn't on there anymore. And to me, that bothers me. Because not only that, Jules also did a Kickstarter, got the thing funded, and you're not talking about that one? Like, I don't know. This is to me, when I read that article, these are the things that make me go, no, they're not doing enough. They're not. They're picking and choosing what they want to do. I got news for you, man. Anybody that wants to tell me that Nintendo's doing enough, bullshit. Because they're going to promote Baba Is You, and they're not going to promote this RPG. That just, you know what I mean? I can't remember the name of it right now. My mind went blank.
Oh, the one from the article?
Yeah.
Cosmic Star.
Yes. Cosmic Star Heroine. They're not going to promote Cosmic Star Heroine, but you're going to promote Baba Is You. Please, for the love of God, explain to me why. Like, I don't get it. It just... You tell me. Am I wrong? What's your opinion on it?
I watched your video. We talked about it on Nintendo Shack last night as well, and it's like, our whole stance on it too is like, is Nintendo responsible to help promote? And I mean, are they responsible? No, but at the same time, there is a pattern here where they are picking and choosing. Yeah. Games to promote, and it's just haphazardly. In some cases, are we going to promote Dead Cells? It looks like a great game. Of course, Nintendo wants a game to sell well on their shop. They get a cut of the sales. Yes. They want all the games to do well. Yes. But so that makes sense. But then, Baba Is You. There's weird games that I don't feel have the same appeal, or have the same, or even the same caliber as others, and they get this storefront, they get this highlight, and at the same time, the shop is not where it needs to be. It was so many games coming out. Like I see the press release that gets sent on Thursdays. And there's a list of 25, 30 games, and I literally, if I want to, I'll go through them sometimes, and I'll just say, I'll see the article, and I'm going to click through all these games. I'm
Yeah.
going to click through each one, and sometimes when I do that, I'm like, wow, this is a game that looks really cool that I had no idea what it is or where it's from or anything about it, because it flies underneath the radar, and it's buried within everything else in new releases and the mobile phone ports that get thrown in there. So, I mean, it still comes back to that. I think the issue we have with the curation that's still not there.
Yep.
But at the same time, I thought, we've had Damon Baker in previous of these directs talking about the partnership they had with Indies and how they really value them and they want to do something. Well, I think we need something more created there. If we have a Nintendo mobile YouTube channel, which I didn't know was a thing.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's a thing.
You can have a Nintendo Nindies channel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's at the point now where we need that.
And not only that,
a dedicated Indies.
My thing is, and this is what I bring up in the video, and this is something that I definitely feel should be done, is you have a Nintendo versus Twitter handle, make a Nintendo Nindies Twitter handle.
Diversify.
And then every single game can get their love, because this will happen. You're going to get a lot of people that will follow that Twitter handle.
Yeah.
And you'll get millions of people that'll follow that Twitter handle, and then guess what happens? All you got to do is every single game that comes out that week, you just throw it out there. And guess what? People will see it. It'll get the exposure, and it'll help. It'll help these things. My thing is, when you break apart that article, and this is the sad thing. People hear, well, Nintendo didn't retweet. And all of a sudden they lose their minds. It's not their obligation, Okay, maybe it's not. But when they submit a trailer and you don't post a trailer on the page, that's your problem. That's your mistake. You dropped the ball. That should be fixed. When they tell you that they want a pre-sale for a pre-order, and you don't post it, that's you. That's not them. That's you. And that's the part that bothers me the most with Nintendo fans, is they want to just hear the one piece and turn their back on the developer. He just mentioned that. It wasn't even the big thing. But yes, it would help, because I've heard this from other indie developers. The retweet would help because they got 12 million followers on Twitter. Right. So it would shine.
To get more eyes.
Yeah, it would shine a better light. I'm not going to name names, but I'm just going to say this. There was an indie developer that I know for a fact was asking for a retweet of a game that they had just released, and they weren't able to get it at all. The same week, Enter the Gungeon got 9 tweets that week. You can't tell me that you're not cherry picking and doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's where. Well. And I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where when you look at it and you go, that's a problem.
Well, I don't know what goes on behind the closed doors there, but I mean, we're talking about a GD retweet.
Yeah.
I can do that by
a second. I
can have an intern pull up Hootsuite, pull up whatever social media platform we're using, and there's this is no effort. There's no effort there.
None.
So
it's a button.
Is there some special line item in an agreement you sign with Nintendo that, for X percentage more of a share, we're going to help you with promotion? I mean, I can't imagine that's the case, but
I just retweeted somebody.
It was.
I just retweeted somebody.
Do you want to hold the show for a second? Do you need a moment to recuperate?
I just retweeted somebody. That's as quick as it takes. It's seconds. Please give me a break. Like, it doesn't take any effort at all. That's how quick it is. Done.
I mean, I've been a fan of Zeboyd games for some time. Back when back on PC they released Cthulhu Saves the World. That was one of the first games I heard of from them. And then they were made the Penny Arcade RPGs, which I loved at the time.
Yes.
And then I kind of trailed off right around when they started news of developing Cosmic Star Heroine. And there was a similar situation back where they were critical of Steam, back in 2000. I can't remember the exact date, but the same type of issue where they're having a storefront and it was just being placement and sales, and I can't remember all the details. I should go back and I should have found it, but so at first when I first saw this came up, that's what it jogged my memory. It's like, oh wait, I've seen this again, but you know, you go through and you read it. There's more going on.
Yeah, and I get the thing that like you wanna have. I feel like another bigger travesty is, and I talk about it in the video I did, was you look at the featured section, and I went through and I picked out the ones that I was picking out were all like over $1 million seller. Like, why is Octopath in featured? Why is Fortnite in featured? Why is Paladins in featured? Why is Captain Toad? Why is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? Why is Hyrule Warriors? These are games that should not be in featured. Because you know where they're at? They're in bestsellers. Yeah. There's no reason for them to be in multiple tabs. Yeah. The featured section should be games that are up and comers, that are, you know, that you feel like needs a little bump. The Messenger should have been in featured. You know what I mean? Like, hands down, the Messenger should have been.
Why is it? Look at the Messenger. What was its lowest score that got tweeted out? I think by Devolver Digital, it was like a 9, maybe a 9.5 was the lowest score of that. Yeah. So I mean, this critically acclaimed indie game that just released, and
it's nuts. So I mean,
at least they announced that that Nindy's channel in the news on the Switch. I mean,
but
that's something. But it's not going to get used. It comes down to it. It's like the shop just needs. We need, like, I would like to see staff picks, something like a Nintendo staff picks, where you could say we have some personal recommendations, and then I think you've got such a variety of games now. Like, featured isn't going to cut it, as you just displayed. Featured doesn't cut it, so you need to be more specialized. Like, we need to go featured Nindies and have
I feel like first off, we've talked about this to nauseum. The store is an absolute joke. Yep. The store is a shit show, and they need to figure something out with that store and kind of rectify the issues that are within it. I don't know the answers. I don't know exactly. I know that they should have an indies section, but do a featured indie section. It's pretty bad when the for sale section is the indies featured section. Yeah. Indie developers are utilizing the for sale section to get some type of spotlight. Yeah. And that's a shame. It's a shame that someone has to put their game on sale to even get some type of storefront notice. Because at the end of the day, like, there should be a top 200 games. Like, you could go on iTunes, right? So I went on iTunes today because Eminem just dropped a new album. First album I bought in probably 10 years. Like, full album. I'd never do that anymore. But
how do you do that? I don't even know how to do that.
I just went on and clicked buy, and I bought it, and I had it downloaded all to my phone, and I got Kamikaze. It's amazing so far. But that said, like, so I went on there today, and when you go to charts, it's like 200 songs. The top 200 songs are there. Why can't Nintendo do the same thing and do, like, under bestsellers, do the top 200 games? So this way you're featuring more games in there. Or, like I said, do an indies thing, or hot games this week, or do something. They gotta do something. Like, they got that stupid podcast that's garbage. They feature stuff on that. So why not do something like featured on, Nintendo Power Podcast, or featured on Nintendo Minute? Like, there's so much stuff that they could do better, I feel, to change that storefront up, make it much more user-friendly, and just really make it... Because here's the thing. Most people aren't buying their games digitally. So, most people are buying their games physically. And if that's the case, if most people are buying the game physically, then you got to keep that in the back of your mind that, hey, here's this, and we're going to bounce over here. So, do something special for the people that are coming digitally to buy. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is, Like, that's just how it is. That's ultimately, like, if I go to buy something digitally, I'm all about indies. But not everybody knows about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of people are getting their indies based off of like limited run or super rare games.
Yeah,
Like that's a
sure.
newfound thing that's really helping these indies get a second take
Jam
on
and
life.
Earl, limited run. I might buy it. I don't ever buy physical extra stuff because it's more expensive. But
Yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl, come on.
Don't you stop.
Oh,
Stop it. Good games, dude. Good games. Stop.
dude, it's gonna be good. Don't even.
I am even. Just stop. So I feel like okay. So let's put a nice, neat little bow
What would
on
you
it.
think too? Like even a dedicated like YouTube, like we've got Nintendo Minute. They could
Yes!
easily they have got a ton of creative people.
Well, first
You
off,
could have a
Nintendo Minute.
dedicated
Nintendo
featured
Minute
game.
is very blasé.
It's very,
It's very kiddie.
It is.
It's very like They should do a more mature video each.
Well,
each
my point
week.
is that they've got talented people at Nintendo that
Yes.
can create video content. They
Yeah.
can very easily whip out much like we have the monthly recap video that I
Yes.
love to watch each month. Even though I know most of the games that are coming out there, I love to watch that. You can
Yeah.
easily do that bi-weekly and have featured games.
They could do.
You know?
They could do a Nintendo. They could do a Nindies channel, a Nintendo Nindies YouTube channel, that is essentially every single Nindies trailer posted there, and then
Yep.
you actually then go into depth with these things and do like walkthroughs and stuff like that. Like, dude, dedicate a little bit of time. Like, here's the thing. So when I was a kid, I used to read Nintendo Power all the time. And that Nintendo Power issue was you had walkthroughs, you had top 10s, you had all this stuff. Man, take a Nintendo channel and turn it into that. Like, you have all these YouTube creators. Go tap into it, like 5 or 6 of them, and go, listen, we're going to bring you on staff.
Just check your credentials first. Just really scrutinize them first. Just make sure.
Just make sure. What you're saying is make sure that the resume is not plagiarized.
That's good. That's a good start.
That's a good start.
Good start.
That's a good start. But no, you go and you pick up a couple of guys, girls, and you just go like, hey, you're gonna stream on the Nintendo channel, you're gonna curate the Nintendo channel, you're gonna do all this different stuff that you're already doing over here, but you're gonna work for us now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, are like the brand ambassadors? Are the Nintendo brand ambassadors? Are those still a thing?
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
they are.
So like, use that program.
Exactly. And just bring them in and go, okay, listen, your assignment this week is give us a walkthrough on Dead Cells. Your assignment this week, give us like the top 10 games that you would buy on the Switch. Like, do stuff like that on an indies side of the channel. And then you get this thing where it's like, because you look at how they do things, like you look at what they do on their regular Nintendo channel, right? You'll have like these special interviews with the Zelda team and all that. Man, do the same stuff, but on an indies channel, and focus and really put some time into it, man. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're gonna find out that it's gonna help these teams grow and get better. Because at the end of the day, I kind of stopped my point. My point is yes, you want Fortnite and you want Paladins and you want all these different companies that are Bethesda and all that. But at the end of the day, they didn't get you to the dance. The indies were what got you to the dance. At the end of the day, they're making money, and they're not going to go out of business with a one failed game. If Doom didn't sell well, okay, you might not get Wolfenstein. But if Wolfenstein doesn't sell well, Doom sold well, so we know that the next Doom will probably sell well. And then the next game after that will sell well. And that's what ultimately happens. If an indie team doesn't sell well, that could be the end of that indie team.
Yep.
And that's a little scary. That's the point that I was bringing up with Tokitori and Rive. Like, that was a team that helped you on the Wii U, that kept you relevant with the Wii U, because when you were putting out one game every other month on the Wii U, them, Jules, Image and Form, Yacht Club, these were the companies that were feeding fans like me and you the whole time. While I was waiting 6 months for them to finally put out a game, Nintendo to finally put out a game, they were hitting us with all these different games in between, Cave Story and all these great games that were hitting the Wii U just in between. Those are the people you need to be protective of. those are the people that you want to help and make sure that they are okay. Because at the end of the day, let's just say that Hyperbolic Chamber is the new console coming out from Nintendo in 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. Switch is dead and done, and it's ran its course. And that next console doesn't sell well, and all the third parties bail on you again.
Yep, again.
You're gonna need indies, and the indies will be the ones that'll carry you through in the low times. Indies are carrying you through now.
Yep.
People can say what they want about the third parties. Indies are carrying Nintendo through right now.
And for every like Nindy success story we see, you don't hear about the failures. Don't get
there's about 5 failures.
Yeah, and they don't get like let's face it, like Blossom Tales. That's the biggest success story of a Nintendo indie, and that's great. I don't want to take anything away from that because that's fantastic what they've done on the Switch. But there's stories like you've brought up that don't get publicized, that don't get spread around much for of studios that weren't as lucky.
So that's where I feel. So let's wrap this up real quick. So if we ran Nintendo, there would be a Twitter handle dedicated to it. There would be a YouTube channel dedicated to it. There would be a better curation of the store to do it. And they could even do like exclusive Nindies. That would be ideal to me. Like do a section that's exclusive Nindies. And then I could go on there and I could go, hey, these are the guys that I really want to buy games from first because they're making games exclusively for Nintendo, and that's where I want to be.
Yep. And we're seeing more. We're seeing more of that each time too. We're seeing more console exclusive. We're seeing console exclusives and at least launch exclusives.
Yes.
You know,
so that's easily Nintendo could do that section and be good to go. So that's how we would do that. What how much time we got here, Jason?
We're looking at 11:30 right now.
So we're right up on it.
We're right up on it.
So is there anything else? Okay, let's just do this one. We'll save the other stuff for the. I just want to do this one real quick because this is a quick, easy one. If we ran Nintendo, when would we do our next Nintendo Direct? And this is basically coming off the rumor that there's one coming in September. I believe some people are saying September 12th is the date for it. Do you feel like that's a good time frame to do it?
Personally, even from before we had the Nindies Direct and the Smash Bros Direct, I had always felt like a mid-September. I've talked about on a podcast before. I always felt like mid to late December was always a good time because you're laying out. You got to set that roadmap for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Your holiday lineup, what people can expect besides the known commodity that's coming. And plus, I mean, it's perfect time to get. You're going to have time to leave more Smash Bros. You're going to fit more Smash Bros. In there somehow because we need more about that game. But no, I think September. I personally feel like that early fall. You're getting into the fall, gearing up for the holidays. It's a good way to get that last send off for the year, and get you through until 2019. I think that's personally always where I felt it should lie.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope. I would love to see a full-blown direct, and I mentioned this last night. I think it's time we see another Koizumi-led headlines direct, where you just get all those headlines and just go through boom, 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 and give them all to you. And plus, I mean, we're probably due for another 5 or 6 3DS games to get announced, right? I mean, we haven't had that in a while.
We don't need that. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. I feel, and I said this during one of my Nintendo Guru Daily videos. I felt like the Diablo spoiler, that video package, that was very direct oriented, and I feel like that was supposed to be in a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And because it got spoiled and they pushed it forward, they ripped it out and just said, "Here you go." Because that's a real weird way to just announce a video. Or announce a game.
It's a big deal in a partnership, but we've had some other. I mean, Blizzard's a big studio. But we've had some other big games come out too that didn't get that level of fanfare.
Yeah.
So.
But it just felt like the way that was done felt very Nintendo Direct.
Like almost a very one more thing type moment.
Yes. So I feel like we'll probably get something in September. The beginning half, I feel like this. This is what I think. The 12th is an ideal date for it. And this is why. Or the week of that week. So it's the second week of September. I feel like the second week of September, earlier in that week, that's why the 12th I feel is very because I think the 12th is like a Tuesday. Is that correct?
Is that
right? Let's look this up real quick. Let's make sure.
It is a Wednesday.
Okay.
the 12th.
So if it's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and that's fine. To me, that's ideal, and this is why I say that's ideal. Because the following week starts the Nintendo Online service. And that's the perfect time to come out and go, here it is. These are your other 10 games you're getting. This is exactly what the functionality will do. This is how it works. This is what you're going to pay. Because you also want to... Oh, you know what? That's what it is. Rybo is the 12th.
Ooh. Apple and iPhone.
So I would probably do it the 10th. The 10th or 11th. That's where the 12th is coming from. That's where I'm seeing that. Yeah. That's okay. So the 10th is right. Rybo's right. I would go to 10th because that's the Monday. I knew that the number 12 was sticking out for me.
You knew the date was resonating.
The date was resonating, and that's because the Apple announcement of the new iPhone. So I would go to 10th.
Yeah.
So I would go to 10th or the 11th, one of those 2 days, and I would then basically detail all of what the online service is going to do, because I feel like this too. You want to get that out there because you have fans, or not fans, you have parents that are going to be looking at a Switch for Christmas for kids.
Yep.
And this is a way to say to them, like, hey, your kids are going to want to pay Fortnite and all that. They're going to be able to play that for free still. They don't have to pay for this. But if they want to play Splatoon 2, they want to play ARMS, they want to play tennis, whatever, they're going to have to. You're going to have to buy this package.
Yeah, because there's going to be kids that aren't going to know. They're like, oh, why can't I play this? And they're going to be upset, and they're not going to have an idea. Yeah.
But at least with parents, they'll understand it, they'll get it. I like the fact that Nintendo is not making people have the Nintendo Online in order to play games like Fortnite and Paladins and all that. That's cool. To me, it's a very classy move. I need to know how this family circle, their circles things work, their family program. Because right now it's very up in the air.
7 other people.
You're in Donnie's thing, and I got out of that quick.
Because if I have to pay like $4,
because this is what,
did I get all the online stuff?
But this is what bothers me about Donnie's circle. So he's the ringleader of the circle, and this is what made me think I don't want to be a part of this. So right. If let's just throw this hypothetically out there. If you're on this circle, and I buy a game, and I get the coins. If you buy a game, do I get the coins? Well,
they're all still separate Nintendo network. They're all still separate accounts.
Are they?
They're still separate accounts.
Okay.
You're just tied together, but you're still all your separate accounts. Because the way I think that would work too is because you don't need the shop functions outside of the online service.
Okay.
You can still buy stuff from the shop without having the online service.
That was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
I was like, am I buying coins and this guy? Am I buying games and this guy's getting my coins? And then when I go to cash in, I don't have them no more. And Donnie's sitting there like a fat cat, just like laying in these gold coins. Like, yes, I'm going to buy all these free games.
Basically.
Yeah. My main thing is the reason, and the truth of the matter, why I didn't join up with Donnie is I do plan to buy a second Switch. And when I do, I want to link those two to the same account, and I will buy a family plan. Because, dude, $35, it's still half the price of.
It's
crazy,
so crazy,
man.
I mean,
it's so nuts. So
Bobby, last thing. What are you going to do on that direct when the one last thing is all of a sudden the music cuts out, and you get this nice little piano.
You know what the one last thing is going to be.
And then there's a shadow of Isabel walking onto the screen.
Don't even, dude. If they, you know what? No, you can't troll me like that. That's not going to be okay. If they announce Animal Crossing, I would lose my effing mind. Like I've said it before, man. If only thing I'm hoping is whenever they do this direct, they do it at night, so I'm home from work, and I can sit here and watch it live with my people.
Yeah.
Like I did so many times in the past.
Lose your mind.
But if Animal Crossing got announced, I would literally just destroy my room.
Dude, all I'm gonna say
would start
is,
ripping
Rybo,
shelves
if that
down.
happens, Rybo, get ready because you're gonna have the mother of all gifts.
Oh, I'm gonna be doing backflips. I'll be ripping my shirt off. I'll be doing Hulk Hogan, like just pulling the shirt apart. And
Oh my god!
I'll put before the stream. I'll put a little cut right there that nobody can see, and then when the time comes, I'll just grab it and just rip it like Hulk Hogan and be like throwing a lot of brothers out there and flexing and doing all this stuff, and yeah, it'd be awesome. So anyway. That is all. Thank you guys for watching another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. You can follow Mr. Jason Lacy here over on the Twitters at JW Lacy. Check out his other podcasts he does, Flux Deposed. He is also a part of the PSVG podcast, Nintendo Shack, which airs every Thursday night.
That's right.
And drops on Fridays, I believe.
Yes.
You can check out Sean Capri, everything he's doing over in the Makeup. You guys got Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So go check out Jason's Patreon over patreon.com/fluxdeposed, correct?
That's it.
Okay.
That's
it. Sean Capri, he has a Patreon as well, patreon.com/makeusbetter. Bobby does not have a Patreon, but go check it out over, check me out over at nintendoguru.com. I'm the only one that doesn't eat up your money. Steal your money.
I'm so greedy. I'm in 2 of them.
You're in 2?
I'm technically in Make Us Better.
How are you technically in it? Did they give you money?
No.
Then you're not in it. Don't.
I just generate the funds.
Yeah. You make money
looks.
for them, and then they take the money. That's the problem. That's a problem. We got to fix this, Jason.
Did you ever see the contract? Did you ever see the contract Sean forced me into sign just so I could podcast with him?
Please, he's such a clown. I don't know. Follow me over at Nintendo Gurus on the Twitters. That is all. Peace out, Preston.